All right.
God be the source, and I am the blood talking.
Yeah, you're there. Look at that. Introduce yourself too. What you are a student.
All right. When we ready. All right. Yo.
Right.
Welcome everyone to our presentation. My name is Jeremiah Brooks. Philip Wilkerson. My fault. I'm let the man introduce himself. I guess he's from me. Just pay attention. Have fun. Ask questions. Be interactive. That's all I have to say.
All right. My name is Titus Cameron. I'm a junior at Virginia Tech. I'm an economics major. And right now I'm going to introduce Jeremiah Brooks and Philip Wilkerson. So what they're about to, talk about is mentorship and creation of spaces to foster belonging. So what that means is basically, this can come in many forms, throughout one's life. This could be the impact of positive mentorship relationship, personal success, and maintaining and cultivating mentorship relationships. Philip Wilkerson is an employer engagement consultant at GMU Career Services. In his role, he serves as a liaison between employers at the GMU community to make sure career opportunities such as jobs and internships are made aware to students, faculty, and staff, and alumni. He also oversees the following industries: media, arts, entertainment, journalism, public relations, graphic design, sports recreation, hospitality and tourism, and technology and engineering. In the past, he was awarded Employee of the Month for GMU the September of 2019, the 40 under 40 list for GMU Black alumni. And he was also given the Pillar Award, which is for GMU staff who supports Black students. He is also the faculty advisor for the IOTA Alpha chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, incorporated in the GMU NAACP chapter. That's good. Yeah, all right. And Jeremiah Brooks, he was a recent graduate of Virginia State University. Right now, he's getting his master's in public policy from George Mason University's Scholars School of Government, School of Government and Policy. His goal is to continue the terminal degree of research pace of technology innovation and its impact on our society. He's just finished his first year of graduate school. He also completed a year-long contract as the graduate professional assistant for the Black Male Success Initiative.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good job. So everyone, as Jeremiah said, this is going to be interactive. We would like a lot of questions, participation. I gave you some ideas and some sheets to think about. And we just, we don't want to just be talking heads. We want to actually have some engagement, actually create that space of belonging here today. So what we're going to talk about, a few things. We're going to learn about how mentorship evolves over time, the evolution of mentorship, how that relationship develops. We're going to talk about understanding the role of a mentor as well as the role of a mentee. We need to understand that when we have these relationships between mentor and mentee, it's a two-way street, and there's responsibilities on both ends. We're going to talk about understanding the power and how you can influence. We're going to talk about how can you find a mentor, right? We always say mentor, and just assume that you naturally get one, but what are the ways and steps to actually get a mentor? And then we're going to talk about how do you vet one, meaning as a student or someone that's young, just getting someone to say, I'm going to be your mentor is not great, right? You want to make sure that this relationship is a positive one for you as well, right? And you're learning from that person, or that the person that you're connecting with values you, and there's some alignment there. So we're going to talk about some green flags and red flags, some things to look out for when you're looking up to someone to seek mentorship. So this is us in a nutshell, right? Working at Mason, higher ed, went to Mount Vernon. Do we have any 703 people here? All right, there's a little bit. Sprinkle in 703. What high school you go to? Yeah, go. Okay, Forest Park. What's your?
I went to OP, but my base was Potomac.
Okay, Potomac. All right, that's down the highway, Richmond Highway, Route 1. Anyone else? Woodbridge. All right. Woodbridge. Dang, no Fairfax County. We need to work on that. Get some more Fairfax County people. Huh? Oh, nice. Okay, fair enough. That's my one I go to. But just understand that's a little bit about me. I've been working in higher ed for 10 years. Jeremiah?
Yes, again, I'm in my Master's of Public Policy program at George Mason Schar School of Policy and Government. I graduated in undergrad from Virginia State with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. My first college that I went to was Wheeling Jesuit University. That's in Wheeling, West Virginia. It's a small D2 school. I used to play basketball, so I'll cross you up if you need to, just ask. You feel me? And then I went to Bishop Ireton High School in Alexandria.
703, there it is. So you can see the greatness coming from Northern Virginia. All right, so this is actually okay. We want you to pull out your phones right now. Pull out your phones, or actually go on your laptop. And we just want you, I want to read the room. Read the room. And we'll give a couple seconds, but this QR code should work. Do you actually have a mentor? We're gonna go into this because maybe some of this, when we do something like this, I don't want to make assumptions that like, hey, how to find a mentor? Maybe you already have a mentor, right? So I want to know, read the room, or don't, or unsure. So we'll give it a couple minutes. We got some participants on. How many? 8 so far? I know there's more than 8 in the room, so we're gonna let the percentage go up a little bit more. And if I'm blocking it with my head, if you want to get on the QR code, please welcome your participation as well. Do you have a mentor? That's great. I mean, that's great that we have some relationships. So hopefully, during this time, even if you do already have a mentor, this presentation is not redundant, and this could be also helpful. We got a couple more people. All right, 18. All right. All right. So more people have mentor. That's a positive thing, right? All right, let's go to the next slide. Flip side. Next question, though. Let's think of the inverse. Do you feel like do you have a mentee? Have you been a mentor to someone else? Let's see some of that engagement in the room. A lot of no's. Because we're going to talk about different levels and different types of mentors. So maybe even as an opportunity, those that said no, that don't have a mentee, maybe leaving from this presentation, you feel like you can have one as well.
And from a show of hands, who can like describe the relationship of a mentee to a mentor? Like if you are a mentor, what is that relationship like? What information or what feedback do you get? You know, what type of relationship do you want to build?
From mentor to mentee.
Yes.
Well, I like to find out like a like-mindedness between myself or the mentee and myself. It's really based on that. Like I can meet their needs, whether it be academic, social, something, family, the what resources around. And that's some fun too.
I like that.
That's some fun and
Yeah, that's well-rounded. I like that.
I like the word that you said, likeliness and connections, what we have in common. Is there any other input? Because this is really helpful. Any other things that come up when you think of the mentor-mentee relationship, just from your experience? You don't have to say right or wrong answer, just something that someone that's been a mentor to you, what did you like about that relationship?
Like comfortability, like
Yes.
being able to talk about whatever that you need, whether you're scared or not about like sharing it with your mentor and their mentor, being able to just take that in and try to give as much knowledge as possible to help you with that.
So comfortability, and I think hearing words like trust probably come out of that too. Good. What about you?
I would say willingness to listen, and try to empathize even if you don't understand, you try to relate. Most times they relate, but even if you can't try to empathize and understand.
I love it. Listening, active listening, empathy. I love it.
I would say, I guess, as a mentor, trying to be vulnerable with the mentee, because I feel like if you're not open, they're not going to be open. Like, reciprocation. That's what I would say. So yeah.
So self-disclosure a little bit there, reciprocal vulnerability to build that relationship and showing that you're not perfect. I like that. Positive role model. These are great. This is great inputs. And hopefully some of these themes come up again. And I think y'all all hit a lot of things that we're going to bring up later. So I wanted to talk about creating the spaces. And the reason why I decided to go off of this topic is because sometimes I told people that naturally that mentor-mentee relationship comes from space. And what I mean by that, I'm going to share a story and tie it in. During COVID, for me particularly, we're all locked down, right? And I'm burnt and turned. I got 2 kids, not sleeping well. It's just a bad time for me, right? And I remember right after these back-to-back hashtag deaths of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, I was really down bad. I was just having a lot of anxiety. I was just in my space, right? And I'm actually working at Mason. And so what I said to myself was, well, I don't feel really good in this space. I need to connect with people that look like me in somehow, some way. So I think some people here, Kai might remember this. I literally just went down and emailed every Black staff member that I knew of and said, hey, can we just get on Zoom and have a Zoom meeting and just talk? And they're like, all right. And no one thought that was weird when Philip does that, because I do kind of things like that all the time, just randomly BCC people. And then from that, I remember that first meeting back in the summer. I was like, wow, this is really helpful. Would y'all like to do this again? Was this a helpful space? I ain't gonna lie, it's helpful for me. And I was really self-filling, but would this be helpful for y'all? And everyone in that group said, yeah, okay. So I just did, normally it was easy. I literally just set Zoom links and spaced it out, reoccurring. Then I reached out to my resources, and one of the gentlemen that was head of HR at Mason was Fred. So I didn't have to go through around all the white tape and all this. I literally just texted him and said, hey, is there a way that I can create a formalized group for employers that are Black males? And he said, yeah, just do it this way. And he texted me. And so I was up on the website, and I had to turn it into a created system. And so out of that system and out of that group became embedded opportunities for mentorship. And this is what I'm trying to share to y'all, is that because of that group, there was more senior staff in that group. There was young professionals. There was grad students. I said, if you're a grad assistant, technically you're a staff member. I brought grad students into the group. And so now, because of that embeddedness, there's opportunities that me and Jeremiah are doing this presentation today. Now, I don't know if you claim me as his mentor or whatever, but these relationships develop through spaces. And so what I want to charge all you out there to think about is that if there is not a space, don't wait, create your own space. It's very easy. I think the presentation said earlier that we can create spaces digitally now, but that is a way to embed and really build up mentorship relationships, which we're also going to talk about. Because of that embedded ecosystem that I created with the Black male faculty and staff, there is opportunities for the different types of mentorship that he's going to talk about in regards to different levels of accomplishment, different things that we talk about, different aspects of mentorship. So sometimes in that group, there's a gentleman that's has 2 kids, but they're older. So now I can ask him questions about what to look forward to as a parent, right? So there's different aspects that I can pull, but because of that group was created. That's what inclusive spaces of belonging. So I really want to charge you that too, that this, when we're talking about the vetting the mentors, it's going to tie into this creating of groups, because that's one strategy that I found to find mentors. If I can't find mentors, create a space, and naturally it happens by itself.
Okay. I consider you a friend.
Yeah. It's hard, man.
Yes. So the creation of the Black Male Success Initiative, this is an initiative that I joined during COVID. I started during COVID, but I joined in the fall of 2021. And in my bio introduction, explained my position as a graduate professional assistant. And my job was basically programming, being a student liaison, and making and creating a space for Black men. As you can see in the photos in the PowerPoint, we did a lot of programming and creating a space for Black men. One of the things we did was create a weekly study hall that was 3 days a week. We had workshop sessions. We focused on the plight of Black men. One of the ones that we did was the anti-Black code switching, what that is, what that looks like in a professional space. And sometimes, as Black men or as Black people, we get into all white spaces and we're not comfortable to be ourselves because we're not accepted. We taught students on how to identify that, how to approach that, how to have the confidence to speak up for yourself and be your best advocate. All right.
And also in that program too, Jeremiah wants to mention, there was also an embedded mentorship program. So there was actual positions where, because of that, and this is what we're talking about, creating space, that there were actually alignment where they would ask the upperclassmen in this group to already assign themselves and be mentors. So that's what we're going to talk about, formalization, formalized mentors and informal. Some people might need to be told to be a mentor, right? It doesn't come naturally. But so programs like this, where it's structured with activities, embed those natural relationships, and maybe also gives people a sense of like, if it's a title like I think it's like a semester long, you're a mentor for a semester, and then you're attached to a mentee for a semester. So sometimes that also helps build that, and that's what really came out of this group really well. So we'll skip that. So I want to share separately the mentorship story. One thing I always thought about is that and I'll tie that back in, is that sometimes it's a long game. That when I say long game, that the relationship evolves into mentorship. So I'm gonna share one that came out of that group or came previous to that group and how it showed up. So I went to grad school at George Mason University. And while I was in grad school, another presenter, you'll see, I think he's here too, Kasim, was working for a program called Early Identification Program. And so while I was in a separate office at a grad student, I did a presentation to EIP and his boss, which is Louis Forrest. So I hit it off with him. I did well. He was like, oh, we'll stay in touch. I graduated in 2012 and I started working in different places away from Mason. Come back to Mason in 2017. I see another black guy. Oh, it's Louis again. We reconnect. Then Louis took me underneath his wing and as a mentor on his own would start adding me to assignments and things outside of my job. Not in a bad way, like opportunities to be at a table. Like he'd say, we're doing a committee for well-being. I want Philip to join. And so then, because of that, when I created this space for black men in 2019, you're seeing the timeline, obviously someone that was embedded in that too was Louis Forrest. So I want to say that I shared this mentorship story with you to show that that was from 2012 to present day.